Hey guys, so today we had our Zoom meeting and it went really well, but it was very long, so I'm not going to post that. It was an hour and 15 minutes long, and it was a lot of let's say hi, we showed off our pets, and we worked through some technical difficulties, so I didn't want to post that since it was so long. If you can join us for Zooms in the future, they won't be an hour and 15 minutes long, I promise you that. We need to cut them down to about 10 to 15 minutes is what my goal is for them to be. So I decided to just remake the video real quick of the basics. First, we did a math box lesson together. So if you just want to take a look at the math boxes that is posted in Canvas, it's not something you have to turn in, but we did those together. So go ahead and just take a look at that. Our focus today is long division. So I just want to very quickly go over what we did in our Zoom lesson on long division. This is review for most of us or all of us. We've done some division this year together. We have our steps for division, which is our acronym to help us remember is Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? D is divide. M is multiply. Maybe. S is subtract. C is check. And B is bring down or over, depending on what method you use. And we're going to look at some methods together. Okay, so those are our steps. Let's get a new screen here. And let's just jump into our first one. So this is our standard method for division. So we're going to divide 321, and we're going to divide that by 5. So the first thing that we do is we look at how many times will 5 go into 3. It'll go into 3 0 times. It won't go into 3 at all. So I'm going to just put an X up there since this is my first step and not a 0. And then I'm going to look at it as how many times will 5 go into 32. I know that 5 times 6 is 30, which is close to 32, so it'll go in there 6 times. Okay, so we've divided. Now we're going to multiply. So 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, we multiplied, now we're going to subtract. 32 minus 30 is 2. Okay, now we're going to check. Is 2 smaller than 5? And it is. So we're going to bring down. I'm going to bring down that 1 beside my 2. How many times will 5 go into 21? That's 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Multiply, so we divide it again. Now we're multiplying again. Now we subtract again. 21 minus 20 is 1. Check. Is 1 smaller than 5? And it is. So then we're to bring down. When we have nothing else to bring down, then this number that we have from our subtraction problem is our remainder. So 64 remainder of 1. We can also write that as a fraction. So 64, 1 would be our numerator, and our divisor, or what we divided by, would be our denominator. So 64 remainder of 1 is correct, but so is 64 and 1/5. Okay? So a different method. This is the box method for division. The steps are going to be the same, except instead of bring down, we're going to bring over. So you take your box and you divide it into however many parts are the digits in your dividend, or what you're dividing into. So we're going to do 439 divided by 3. Okay, so our first step is divide. How many times does 3 go into 4? It's once. Then we're going to multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. That goes under my 4. Then we're going to subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then we're going to check. 1 is smaller than 3. So then here is where it's just a little bit different. We're going to bring over instead of bring down. So we're going to take our answer to our subtraction problem and we're going to bring that over by the 3. Okay, and then we start back up at divide. How many times does 3 go into 13? Well, 3 times 4 is 12, so it goes in there 4 times. Multiply 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract 13 minus 12 is 1. Check, is 1 smaller than 3? And it is. So then I'm going to bring over. That becomes 19. How many times does 3 go into 19? Well, I know 3 times 6 is 18, so it goes in there 6 times. That was our division. Now we're going to multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. 19 minus 18, run subtract, is 1. Check, is 1 smaller than 3? Then we get to bring over, and there is nothing to take over. So now we are finished. So in this last box, the answer to our subtraction problem is our remainder. And I don't want you to think that this is a decimal, so I'm going to take that away. So our answer is 146, remainder of 1, or we can rewrite that as 146 and 1/3. So either one of these are the correct answer. Okay? Now, on your division assignment that you will find in Canvas, you're going to have one challenge problem where it is dividing by 2 digits. So if I'm dividing by 2 digits, we're just going to do a short problem here. I have to use a method called guess and check. I don't like it being called guess and check because you're not really guessing, you're using your knowledge, you're using some logic. So I call it logic and check. So our steps are the same. We're still dividing, multiplying, subtracting, checking, and bringing down. But we look at it as 2 digits going into a number instead of 1 digit. So I know that 17 won't go into 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put that X up there. So then I look at as 17 goes into 34. So I'm going to use my multiplication facts. I know that 17 times 1 is 17, obviously. 17 times 2 is 14, carry my 1, is 34. So that's what I'm going into. So 17 goes into 34 2 times. Then I'm going to multiply. 2 times 17 is 34. 34 minus 34 is 0. Check, is 0 smaller than 17? Yes, it is. So I'm going to bring down my 2. Now I have to go 17 into 2, or 2 divided by 17. How many times will 17 go into 2? It won't. So I'm going to put a 0 up here. 0 times 17 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. Check, is 2 smaller than 17? And it is. Do I have anything else to bring down? No, I don't. So my remainder is 2. So my answer is 20 remainder of 2. Or if I want to write it as a fraction, it would be 20 and 2/17. Okay, so real quick, what you're going to do is you have an assignment that's in Canvas. It's called the division assignment, I think, and it's 4 problems. So you're going to do the division assignment in Canvas or in Notability and then submit it on Canvas, or you can do it on a piece of paper and take a picture of it and turn it in that way. You can use either the standard traditional method or the box method, whichever one you like the best. Okay? Then you are going to do ALEKS topics. For the week, you have 3 ALEKS topics. Today, you only have to do 1. If you want to do all 3 to get them done, you can go ahead and do all 3. You're not writing them down. I will just look at the end of the week and see that you did 3 topics, and they must be learned topics. Okay? There will not be any knowledge checks. I have disabled knowledge checks, so knowledge checks won't count as a topic for anyone because you shouldn't have them. Okay, so 3 learned topics by the end of the week on Friday. And I know this isn't science, but I'm going to go ahead and put on here that you have daily science this week, which is in your science module. It is the only science you have for the week, and it is due on Friday. And all you have to do is Monday through Thursday. You are not doing the Friday. Okay? We have to do the Monday because it's the reading portion. Since we had a 4-day week, I'm cutting off the Friday part. Okay, guys, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Hopefully you are division masters. See you guys.